How do you know if you're a bar passer? There are distinct qualities that distinguish bar passers from bar retakers. You may be diving in for the first time, determined that it will be your only time, or you may be taking this for the second or more time, saying, I know I got so close, this has to be it for me. I've seen people come in completely confident, walk away with the surprise of their life, or knowing that they were so close, instead of crossing the finish line, they backslid instead. When you've gotten those results, you've gotten the tail end of a slew of beliefs and emotional reactions that built up to that point. Because chances are, academically, you're capable. But what happens when the academic ability doesn't match the score you're reading on your screen? I'm here to tell you what to catch early on and how to transform yourself to embrace those distinct features of the bar passer so that you can guarantee your success next time. Hi, I'm Jennifer Duclair, bar exam mindset mentor and attorney life coach, helping you to beat this bar exam and build a life that you are absolutely in love with. If you're taking the bar exam, you'll want to know these distinct traits of the bar passer. We're diving straight in with the mindset because, as you know, mindset mentor here. I've seen the people who are on their way to passing, when it's the first time that they're taking the bar, this is the distinct feature I've seen from them. When they study and they practice and they go over the material, they are looking at it as a learning process and an improvement process, not a test on something they should have already known. They treat it as if it's a blank slate and I'm going into this for the first time. The people who have immense trouble, they do the opposite. They open it up and they're like, well, all these are subjects that I studied in my first year, so they should be easy and I should already know all this. And because they come with this expectation on themselves, and most lawyer types have high bars for themselves and are harshly critical when they don't meet that bar. So when they come in with this expectation that they should already know this information, they have the high bar in place. And when they're studying and they're not recalling ever learning this in 1L year, or they are doing practice questions and they're like, I just studied this, plus I should have known this from 1L year, so why am I getting this question wrong? They are beating themselves up mentally. And that, my friend, is the smoke where there is fire. That is a telltale sign that things are not going to go okay here. On the opposite end is the bar preparer who knows that this is a learning process. Even if I thought I knew something, I'm just going to act like I know nothing and I'm just going to learn this stuff. And then when I do my practice questions, I'm not looking at it as a test of what I should have just learned an hour ago, but I'm looking at it more like another aspect of the learning. This is meant to help me to apply and work with the information in my brain. This is helping me synthesize the information. This is not a test. Those practice questions are not a test. They are an exercise. It's the difference between your daily jogs leading up to the marathon and then the marathon itself. You can't treat your daily jogs like it is the marathon and then get down on yourself for not performing to your marathon expectations on your daily practice jogs, right? So when I explain it to you like that, you see how that doesn't make sense. So the people who approach their practice questions like they're supposed to be performing as wonderfully as they expect to on the bar exam itself, like that doesn't make sense. And so the distinguishing factors between the bar passers and the bar retakers is that they look at studying for what it's supposed to be. This is a time to learn the information and work with it, manipulate it, let your brain play with it. That's what you're doing with those practice questions and essays. Those practice questions and essays are not to be treated like they're the actual exam. So that's the first thing. For retakers, what I've found is a distinguishing difference is, and this is a big one, so stick with me here, whether they're seeing the bar exam as the be all end all. Like, I have to pass this bar exam or else. Or I can't fail this bar exam. Yes, you can. Right. But when they approach with these words, they're not even in the realm of studying, learning, and passing. They've made this bar exam an emotional thing, a self-defining thing, a future determining thing. They've made the bar exam an idol. And people who see the bar exam that way have lost sight of what they're actually here to do. Now, the distinguishing factor for the bar passers, even if you're retaking it, is that they see this bar exam process as just that, a process. So it's like you get a canvas and you start painting, and you're just like, when is this painting going to be done? I need to see the finished product already. Oh my goodness, this is taking so long. Even if you finish the painting, do you think you would have enjoyed the process? And chances are, if that's the attitude you have, you're not going to finish the painting. Any process is a process. The bar exam preparation period is a process. And learning to enjoy the actual process will give you the interim high vibes you need to support learning, memorizing, and recalling it later. You need to have a high vibe to support your brain doing those things. And then when you get to the bar exam, the finished product appears. So, how do you turn bar preparation into an enjoyable process? First of all, turn to seeing it as a process. Just like with the first timers, when you're taking it first out of the gate and you want to be one and done, you definitely want to see this as a learning and a practicing, and not the bar prep is actually testing you on stuff you should have known from 1L year. Bring that same mind frame if you're retaking the bar exam, bring that same mind frame into the area of the process is one of learning. The process is one of, I wonder what my brain recalls today. The process is one of, I wonder how else I can apply this information. Or the process is, oh, what was the one little thing that I needed to know that would allow me to get this question right? You need to find a way to make it a process. For some people, the process is, I wonder how consistent I can be in my study period. Like, will I show up every day? And then they start trying to, and then they go, I wonder how I can become more consistent and not let life get in the way. Like, stay dedicated to this. They're not beating themselves up. They're playing with it. They're making it a process. One bar taker that I'm helping, a private client in Beat the Bar, her process is, I wonder how long I can keep up my positive feelings and good vibes while I check my multiple choice questions. Because you know probably that when you're checking those questions, if you see you got something wrong and you see multiple ones wrong in a row, you might go lower and lower on the emotional scale. And her process is, I wonder if I could keep a high vibe this whole time. That's her process. And she's doing it through the bar exam studying and the multiple choice practice questions. And so you're getting your bar study done, but you're enjoying the process of it because you're using it to grow in some way. It's not just this whole test of the exam itself and how much I know, and then criticizing yourself if you've come up short. Because again, if that's the case, you've forgotten that this is a process. You're judging the half finished painting, even though you know that you're only half finished. This is the thing that gets me. How do you determine your end result by these interim scores? The point of practicing is for you to continue manipulating the information in your mind so that it cements in there, so that on the day of the exam itself, you bring it up readily. That's the point of the studying and the practicing, not to test yourself, right, in this moment, but to continue manipulating the information and refining your process. Now, there is a process for remembering the correct answer more readily, jogging your mind about those loopholes and nuances. There are processes about making sure you spot that errant issue that can sometimes escape you when you are reading that prompt. There are processes to optimizing your score in each area of the exam. Those are one set of processes. There's lots of things that you can use the bar exam for that will help you enjoy the process of preparing for it. I've heard trust the process, but that takes a leap, right? If you can learn to enjoy your process, you make the bar exam mean something for you, not letting the bar exam define you. You use the bar exam for your purposes. I want to grow more consistent. I want to stay in a high vibe despite the circumstances. I want to think well of myself in all areas. I want to erase negative thinking and fill myself with positive, encouraging statements every day. I want to learn to set better boundaries at work and at home so I can do the things that are important to me. Today, it's the bar exam, yes, but tomorrow it might be my exercise regimen or my meditation regimen, or it might be my studying something for another field that I want to enter, or my side hustle of my firm that I'm growing alongside my full-time job. Today, it's the bar exam, and let me use the bar exam process to cement my abilities to set boundaries, right? And to make space for what I really want. So make this a process and peg your goals outside of merely passing the bar exam. Use the bar exam for something, and this will allow you to enjoy the journey to passing. This is the distinguishing factor that I've seen amongst retakers, is once they move from, I got to do this, it has to happen, etc., to, wow, I've grown so much in this process, or wow, I can use bar prep for, and they find how they can use bar prep to instill things in their lives they've needed all along, like setting boundaries, or learning to balance their home and work life better, or learning to allow their children to carry more responsibilities around the house, like simple chores that are age appropriate, or learning to scale back and let things go and let it be okay for things to not get done, or even using bar prep to monitor their self-talk and improve how they treat themselves. Like once they start to use bar prep, as opposed to bar prep being this, or bar exam being this idol that they must attain or achieve, because a pedestal out of reach, right? You can't take it off the pedestal. Once they learn to use the process to benefit their whole lives, they actually start looking forward to bar prep because they can see progress in how they're doing life. The academic part is not an issue. If you're smart enough to have finished and graduated from law school, you can pass the bar exam. Usually it's all the other stuff that gets in the way. So if you're retaking the bar exam and using it as a process for life improvement, you'll find yourself not only enjoying bar prep, but you'll see your life improving while you go. And you'll also see that somehow you're magically free to soar academically on this bar exam because you're using it for your good, right? So distinguishing factors between the mindset of someone who will be successful versus someone who needs a little bit of work to get on over to the other side. And it's different between whether you're taking it for the first time or retaking it. So if after listening to this, you realize I need to get deeper into finding out how to move my mindset from the not so good train of thought to the successful bar passer train of thought, I'm including a link below for a 15-minute mini consult. We'll get you started on the right way, help you identify what's going on and what your best next steps are. We have a variety of both on-demand programs you could buy and use in the comfort of your own home, and also live coaching, whether in our small group community or one-on-one with me, so that you can move along this continuum of mindset improvement so that you can beat the bar and start living your attorney life already. I'll see you in the next video.